Indefinite articles in Spanish with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. Just one, actually. In English, the indefinite article e, but four in Spanish. Their use depends on the Spanish following word. So let's start with first un and unos. These two indefinite articles works with masculine words. An example, un nombre. In English, we've got a name. Nombre in Spanish is a masculine word. So to translate here a-n-m, we're going to use the indefinite article un to say un nombre. The plural form is unos. So we're going to say unos nombres. When in English, actually, we don't use indefinite article. The plural form does not exist, so we say names, or you can also say some names to translate unos nombres. But in Spanish, you need one. Another example, easy now to understand for you, as we've just got two forms. Un gato, to say a cat, and the plural form will be unos gatos, to say again cats or some cats. Well, we've got some things to say about this indefinite article. We said just for masculine words, but it's not exactly the case. We use un with feminine words also, but when these words or the stress of these words it's at the beginning. So we need a feminine word starting with a vowel. This vowel is the letter A, and we need a stress on this first letter A. So as an example, we're going to use this word águila, which means in English eagle, the animal. And as you can see here, it is a feminine word, and we've got the stress just on the first syllable, águila. For this reason, we use the masculine indefinite article. If you want to say an eagle, in Spanish you will say un águila. And we are not going to use here, in this case, the proper feminine indefinite article, just because the stress is on the first syllable. Okay? Let's see another point. Don't get confused with un and uno. Uno means in English one, nothing to do with un aquí. For example, tengo un libro, I have a book, I've got a book. If you want to say now, I've got one, in Spanish you will say tengo uno, I have one, I've got one. So uno here is different from the indefinite article un. Okay? So let's see now the feminine forms of this indefinite article. We've got una and unas with feminine words. Una amiga. Here you can hear the difference actually between this word amiga and the previous word águila. Because the stress in this word amiga is on second syllable. That's why we can use here the proper indefinite article, the feminine form una. Una amiga means a friend for a girl. The plural form, we've got one, unas amigas. The meaning is friends or some friends, for girls again. Una mano, a hand, the same thing. Unas manos, to say hands or some hands. Okay? So let's now resume what we've just said about our four indefinite articles in Spanish. We've got un, unos, for masculine words, una, unas, for feminine words, with the exception we've just seen before. So let's see now how to use them. Well, usually it's actually like in English, so not very difficult. We've got some exceptions and we are going to see this. We don't use indefinite articles for jobs, religions, talking about you, for example. Let's take some example. I am a doctor. Here you've got the indefinite article before doctor. You say in English, I am a doctor. But in Spanish, soy médico. You're not going to say soy un médico. No, if you want to translate this sentence speaking about you, about your job, you just will say soy médico. The same thing for your religion. I am a Christian. Here we've got again our indefinite article, but in Spanish, soy cristiano. With no indefinite article. Soy cristiano. Okay? Let's see another difference with two words with and without. Well, in English, we also use an indefinite article when you want to say I work with a computer. I work with a. But in Spanish, actually, you can say trabajo con una computadora using the indefinite article, or you can also say trabajo con computadora, which is perfectly correct. So both are possible. Another example now with the verb tener, which is to get, to have. I have a cat, so here we've got again our indefinite article in English, but in Spanish you can also say tengo un gato or just tengo gato, and both sentences are correct. Okay? So I think that is what you need to know about the indefinite articles in Spanish. Está terminado. Thank you very much for watching these slides with me. If you want to read the text, the script of this video, you can visit my website, frenchspanishonline.com. It's free. Of course, you can also share this video if you like it, or drop me a line. See you next time. Hasta luego.